Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Are rules really meant to be broken? Because we have a whole hooping bunch of them that we have to live by right now. So we have the rule that we should wear a seatbelt when we're out driving. Okay. That keeps us being thrown from the vehicle whenever we're in our little two-seater car and an SUV runs a light, T-bones us and actually throws us underneath a pickup truck who runs over the front of us. Having the rule that you have on your seatbelt keeps you from being thrown out of the car so the pickup truck doesn't run over you. Wonder if that might have been a personal experience. We have the rules, don't take somebody else's stuff. I think that's a pretty good rule. Everybody that is in my world knows that, we do what we can to make the world a better place, and we're out there making it happen. We don't want to hand our success to someone else. If you want it, you need to go out and work for it. So don't take somebody else's stuff. That's a really good rule that should not be broken. All right. What about the rule, be nice to other people, don't hurt them? Is that a rule that we need to keep? Or is that maybe a rule that we need to break? Well, yeah, be nice. You don't want to hurt anybody physically on purpose. But how the mind does one thing, it does all things. And if you were raised with be nice to others, well, what if you've got a friend who is saying, hey, will you babysit my kids? Maybe you don't like kids, or you don't like their kids, but you don't want to tell them. Be nice. Hey, will you babysit my kids? What about the boss who's asking you to work late again? But be nice. What about the significant other who makes plans and then breaks them at the last minute? Be nice. Be nice is not a rule. Be nice is a dysfunctional coping mechanism that we're taught so we don't rock the boat. You might want to look at it as that might be a rule to be broken. But how do you know? Well, we all have rules. In fact, we have hundreds of rules. And that's the problem with getting success and then keeping it, is that you will have rules that are in conflict because your rules are attached to something called values. Values are what you go after in life. So whenever you're looking to achieve a certain tangible success, maybe it's a new car, it's a house, maybe it's updating your current house, it's new pieces in your wardrobe. It can be going back to school, learning something new. All of these are sought after because they enhance one of your rules, or one of your values. So everything tangible you have in your life is based on what you value. Do you value certainty? Do you value freedom? Do you value worthiness? Do you value validation? What about knowledge and contribution? So we actually have 6 of them. Most people don't even get past what's known as the core 4. Why is that? Because they will have values that contradict each other, and each value has a rule. So if you have a value of certainty where you need to assign your power to over to other people, places, and things, which is very dysfunctional, by the way, but it's what we're all taught. Be nice. Okay, so I'm going to be nice to this person instead of bringing up what I need to experience to be my very best. I'm going to be nice and not rock the boat, but I'm now giving my power over to them to determine whether or not I'm going to get success or whether I'm going to keep success. So maybe you have a value of certainty, but you also have a value of worthiness. And worthiness says that either if it's dysfunctional, either you can sacrifice yourself for others, or if it's functional, you find a way for you to pair up with somebody to create something of significance that's going to bless the world, because the two of you together can create more than what the two of you could apart, whether it's in relationships that are family, whether it's work, whether it's friends. So let's say you have a dysfunctional value of certainty, handing your power over to other people, places, and things by being nice, but you have a very functional value of worthiness, of pairing up with others to create something phenomenal. You've got two values that are going to be in conflict, and each of those values has rules to go along with them. And so you've got the value of the rules around the value of certainty, don't say anything. And then you've got the part of you that almost seems to be screaming inside that says, no, I am worth more. What is it that we need to do here to be able to experience this? So if you have too many rules around your values, you're not going to be able to grow, because rules are meant for one thing and one thing only. They are meant to keep you safe. And you can never move into security. And security says, if it is to be, it is up to me. If you have too many rules with conflicting values, you're never going to move from pain into progress, because that's what rules are all about. Rules are meant to keep you from pain. But the more rules you have, the more they're like a noose around the neck of your success. And they say that you can't move forward. But we can't just look at the rules. We have to look at the values that are in conflict with each other. I'm going to go through those really quick. So as I said, first you have certainty. Now, certainty shows up two ways. Dysfunctionally, it shows up as safety. You have to hand your power over to other people, places, and things for them to make you okay. Then you have it functional, which is security. If it is to be, it is up to me. Then you have freedom. Freedom shows up two ways. It shows up as drama, crisis, chaos, and confusion, because you feel like somebody's taking your freedom away, or it shows up as choices. You're going to have people that show up in your life, sometimes on a daily basis, that want you to do things to turn their dreams into reality, not for you to work together on it. So you have a choice. Are you going to allow them to continue to trigger, or are you going to give yourself a choice on how to optimize that emotion? The fear is not going to go away. You got to learn how to use it. And then from there, we have worthiness. Now, worthiness, again, shows up two ways. Dysfunctional is going to be either martyr or narcissistic tendencies. Not personality disorder, but tendencies. So you're either a martyr, I have to sacrifice everything for them to be okay, or narcissistic, I've got to save them for them to be okay. Either way, it's not going to go well. Or it can be significance. Hey, let's look at how we can bring each other out at our very best. And then from there, you have validation. Validation shows up dysfunctionally as connection. Let me hold myself back so others don't feel bad about what they don't have. Here, let me hand it away. Or love, which is the experience that all of us want to have as well as create for others, because this is the beginning levels of leadership. You can hold somebody accountable for what you expect from them because you love them that much, and you can do it for yourself. Okay. Each of those areas has their own rules. And the more rules you have, the more you're trying to get away from pain. In fact, every time you go into a painful experience, you will add on another rule to try to keep that from happening in the future. But all you do is then wind up going into more and more avoidance. So what is it that you can do to begin to move from rules that restrict into boundaries that bless? Well, you need to understand what wound you're dealing with, what emotional wound that you have, that you were given. It's not your fault. You accepted it, over 80% of it by age 8, because you needed to be what someone else needed you to be for them to be okay, instead of bringing yourself out at your very best. All right. So what do you need to do to be able to get more out of that, so you can move from the rules that are holding you back from success, but they're actually creating more pain, and to boundaries that bless, because you begin to understand, no, this is something that might need to be broken. This is something that might need to be refined. How do I do that? How do I move from the value where I'm getting it met dysfunctionally into being as healthy as possible? Because we're not going to solve that in the next few minutes, are we? All right, I have an absolutely free course for you on how to move into your dreams into reality by looking at what's your emotional wound, how are you motivated to put people into places where you keep reenacting that emotional wound, how are you motivated to continue to try to get away from pain, which will never turn your dreams into reality. What are the bad beliefs that are holding you back? And finally, how do you turn it all around for your success? 5 days, 5 to Thrive. It is a free course. Every single day, you're going to be given a video on how to bring yourself out at your very best by looking at each of these areas and what you can do that day to begin to upgrade, because your dreams will no longer wait. You've got way too many rules that have restricted them. They're never going to turn into reality with the current identity that you have. So let's begin to update it now. In case you haven't noticed, the world is not getting better. Why is that? Because too many people are afraid to turn on their brilliance because they're afraid to get hurt. You need to step forward as the leader to show them how it's done. Use your light to ignite theirs. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Okay, how do you access this completely free course? 5 to Thrive. It's a 5-day challenge on turning your dreams into reality. Go to drewdawnferguson.com/5, the number 5. And you're going to see a very simple sign-up form. You're going to get immediate access to the very first video. What is your wound, and how can you start now, right now, today, and turning it into your wealth, going from poverty to prosperity, going from rules that restrict to boundaries that bless? It's waiting for you. I'm not quite sure what your happy ending is, but you know what it is. And I'm here to support you taking the steps to make that happen. So I look forward to seeing that you've registered for your free course, 5 to Thrive, at drewdawnferguson.com/5. See you there.